Good morning, everyone. If we could have cell phones away, perhaps put them under your seats, might be a good spot for them. Well, welcome to the 2019 Community Honours and Awards Assembly. So awards ceremonies like this are, by their very nature, imperfect events. In an ideal world, we'd be able to recognize the unique contributions of every member of the senior class and honor their role in shaping the school during their time here. We'll achieve this on Sunday, when we present a Stevenson diploma, a celebration of each unique path through the upper division to each of our graduating seniors. Indeed, we've celebrated moments large and small with each other throughout the year. When you cheer on a peer making an assembly announcement, or recognize the talent and bravery of those who perform on stage, or when you sit in the stands and shout encouragement from the sidelines at a sporting contest. We've shared our collective pride in the efforts of many of our students that have resulted in external recognition for academic, musical, theatrical, and sporting success, and for community engagement. We truly are a very talented bunch sitting here today. The students we recognize today are the embodiment of the school's mission, preparing for success in college and beyond, and joyously demonstrating a passion for learning and achievement. Rather than see this as an exclusive event that holds up a few to be celebrated, I hope we can take this opportunity to be proud of these qualities that we value as a school, and share in the joy of recognizing curiosity, dedication, and commitment. As the faculty will readily attest, a positive and productive learning environment requires the investment of every member of each class. And our senior students are the ones who set this tone throughout the campus. But this is also a good moment to recognize the incredible dedication of our faculty and staff, for whom teaching truly is a vocation. Sitting amongst you today is a remarkable group of educators who challenge you every day to be your best self, both as a student and as a member of this community. And they provide the encouragement and support you need to meet this challenge. They work tirelessly on your behalf, and for this, we're incredibly grateful. So faculty, thank you very much. So, on to the main business of this morning, the 2019 Community Honours and Awards. With these awards, we seek not just to recognize achievement as defined by external examinations or by final grades in our internal assessments, but rather to celebrate the values we teachers hold most dear: curiosity, determination, commitment to a collaborative learning environment, the desire to immerse oneself in the ideas being examined, to learn and to improve. In short, today is a celebration of the joy and fulfillment that is found when hungry, inquiring minds find ideas and concepts with which they can deeply connect. So, Mr. Denise, will you please kick us off with the first award of the morning?
Good morning. The John Sanuda Excellent in Mathematics Award is presented to the student who embodies the spirit of Stevenson mathematics. The recipient has a passion for math, excels in the subject, and willingly participates in extracurricular math contests. The award is named in honor of longtime teacher and department chair John Sanuda. To quote John, "The more you know, the more you know." And this year's recipient knows a lot. As a former student of John's and a current colleague, I am truly honored to present this award on behalf of the math department. This year's recipient has excelled in every math course that he has taken since his arrival at Stevenson School. His list of accolades includes a score of 5 on the AP Calculus BC examination, a first-place finish in the AP Calculus BC test at the countywide mathletics competition, along with being a member of Stevenson's national championship winning Math Madness team. He has been a major contributor in all math competitions and has been ranked as high as 18th out of 12,000 students in Math Madness. It gives me great pleasure to present the 2019 John Sanuda Excellence in Mathematics Award to Oscar Chen.
Photography over there. Yeah. Good morning. The Chinese Language Award will be going to Alyssa Stegall. Alyssa, congratulations, and you've always impressed me by your strength and your spirit. Where are you, Alyssa? Oh, okay, so after all my threats, all my scary stories, all the, I don't know, everything, and you still decided to take Chinese, AP Chinese, which was great. And I know I don't really go to a lot of school events or sports, but for the 20 swimming competitions or 5 school concerts or 10 performances, just kidding. For the one swimming competition that I went, I was really, really touched by your by your strength and your spirit, and the concert that I did go, and I was really, really moved by your performance and your strength, everything. So congratulations, and I prepared something very special for you, which is a combination of Chinese and violin, which is, I can't think of any better combination than that. Good job, Alyssa. I'm really proud of all your achievements.
The recipient of the French Award is Apple Jean. Apple began learning French as a freshman at Stevenson with no prior exposure to the language. 39 months later, she passed the B2 French exam. What does that mean? Most European countries generally require a minimum of B1 to hold a job in that country. Given that B1 is a lower level of language proficiency than B2, by passing the B2 exam, Apple is officially certified by the French government as being skilled enough in the language to work in the country. Additionally, similar to how English learners must take the TOEFL to attend high school and college in the US, foreigners must pass the B2 exam to attend university in France. Let's just put in perspective how hard Apple has worked. In 39 months, she went from zero knowledge of French to speaking the language fluently enough to work with native French speakers and to attend university-level classes with native French speakers. It should be noted that on top of Apple's excellence in French is her passion for Latin. She took Latin 1 her junior year, and then in her senior year, she skipped Latin 2 and went straight into Latin 3 honors, where she has excelled. So let's take a look at Apple's language repertoire: English, Chinese, Shanghainese, French, and Latin. She's enrolled in USC's World Bachelor in Business program, where she will spend at least 1 year in each of LA, Hong Kong, and Milan, Italy. And her program requires her to reach a B1 level in Italian. Maybe she'll pick up some Cantonese while in Hong Kong. In the classroom, Apple has never been afraid of sharing her opinion. This is in part due to her mastery of the art of circumlocution. That is, talking around the language to express the meaning of a word without actually knowing how to say the word. With her fearless approach to discussion and her circumlocution skills, Apple has always passionately engaged in meaningful conversation about societal issues in francophone countries, and she consistently moves class discussion forward while supporting her classmates along the way. There's nobody more deserving of this award than Apple Jean. Merci, Apple.
The recipient of the Japanese Community Award this year is one of the most humble, goal-driven young women I have ever taught. She is a passionate Japanese learner, but she is also a talented artist. She participated in the Japanese New Year's card competition held by the Consulate General of Japan in San Francisco for the past 3 years. As a freshman, she won 3rd place. As a sophomore, she won honorable mention, and this year, her artwork was chosen as the best work out of 640 cards. In March this year, at the annual Japanese speech contest in the Bay Area, she won 1st place, and she will proceed to the National Japanese Speech Contest this coming Saturday in Southern California. Only 3 years ago, she began studying Japanese as a freshman. The fact that she has achieved a near fluent command of the language within just 3 years is truly a product of her consistent effort and determination. This year's Community Award in Japanese will go to Betty M. Congratulations.
Precision, power, grace, diligence, all distinctly Roman values. In considering this year's Latin Award recipient, these could also apply to her experience with Latin. In truth, they could also apply to her experience with diving, but that is for another day. I have had the privilege of teaching Haley Fannin for nearly 2 years now. As the only senior in our class, it often fell on her to be a voice of reason, reassurance, and resourcefulness. While Haley has no doubt excelled in the academic aspects of our class, it is her willingness to see school as an experience and opportunity that I've come to appreciate most as her teacher. Whether we're discussing how Aeneas can relate to modern meme culture, or celebrating her new civic responsibilities as a freshly minted 18-year-old, there's a joyful curiosity that drives Haley to understand and engage with the world on a deeper and more meaningful level. To me, this is far more valuable than conjugating verbs correctly or memorizing vocabulary, although she does that well too. In closing, I wanted to share one of my favorite memories of Haley, which comes from last year, just around this time. She was finishing up a final paper for our class, but mentioned that in the process she had rustled up some thoughts and wanted to potentially write another essay over the summer and inquired whether I might be interested in reading it. Of course, as you can imagine, I was pretty pumped at the idea of a student voluntarily contemplating Ovid, nonetheless in the summer. I hope I have not embarrassed you by highlighting your own nerdiness, Haley, but I suppose winning a Latin award probably speaks for itself. I wish you all the best and cannot wait to see everything that you bring to the world.
Oh, are you guys in for it? As my students know, because this is the last time I could stand up here and McCormick can't yell at me for taking longer than 30 seconds. He knows better. Before I give the Spanish word, el premio de español, first of all, I want you guys to join me and thank Dr. Hicks. When you get a new boss, there's this tendency to be very fearful of the person who takes over. Now everything is going to change, and you never know how that person feels about you. You think, oh gosh, why is he coming down to my office? Am I in trouble? Well, yesterday was amazing. I had no idea, and along with Mr. Akjan, we had that music beating in our heads for the rest of the night. So would you please all join me and thank Dr. Hicks for that incredible event of the mariachis yesterday. Now on to the Spanish Award. I always have written it in the past, but this time I'm hablarlo. I'm winging it. Mostly because I've done it so many times, and I always think about you guys sitting out there and thinking, oh, geez, we got to listen to another speech. So this time I'm going to be a little bit more off the cuff. When you are a teacher, as long as I've been, this is my 40th year of teaching. I started as a baby, and yeah, I was. And my mentor, if you can believe it, talk about nepotism, was my own dad, who went 45 years of teaching. My oldest brother was a teacher, my younger sister's a teacher, and my mother became a college professor. So it kind of runs in the family. And when I say I'm not retiring, I really am not, because what I want to do is go over to Spain and teach English and put something that was on my bucket list, scratch it off. So when you get a student in your class who excels in Spanish and then says in the following September, because I always typically had 3 and 4 honors kids together, and when the student comes back and says to you, I just spent the summer in Spain, it is the most moving moment for a teacher. It is such a great feeling when you have a student who loved the language so much that she went over and spent the summer in Salamanca. And after spending the summer in Salamanca, she comes back and she averages a 97 all year long. So I'm really hoping she gets a 5 on that AP. I don't think there's any doubt, but I am so impressed. Also, another student of multiple languages, I am just thrilled to be giving the Spanish Award to Adela Joe.
We all carry a world around with us in our heads. We think we're living in the moment, but we're not. The moments that shaped us and make us who we are, of course, all in the past. If you grew up in China, you carry China with you. If you grew up in Bakersfield, as Will Jameson did, you bring Bakersfield with you everywhere you go, and that is something to be proud of. Edmund Burke once criticized the French Revolution because he said it rejected the accumulated wisdom of history. Lawyers often study history as a prelude to the law because it is about the way things really work. Most of us sail blind across the seas of life. Those who study history have at least a blurry, salt-encrusted chart. Will's perspective reaches a lot farther back in history than most of ours, and he can see farther ahead on the road of life than most of us. Will can discuss other eras of human history matter-of-factly as though he had been there, and he has. In theater, as in his study of history, Will has actually been in other times and places. He is fascinated by the human story in every way. He brings a rare perspective and wisdom to his decisions, I would like to think informed by his love of history and his love of theater. So please, join me in congratulating Will Jameson, the recipient of the History Award for this year.
Just a wave out to the freshmen wherever they are. Okay. The publications field encompasses Tusitala Yearbook and the literary magazine Vailima. Each year, we collectively choose a student or students who have excelled at the art of publishing the works of their fellow writers and journalists. This year, 2 students will share the award for their meticulous management and dedication to the process of transferring ideas to the page and then on to publication. This year's honorees are 2 student editors who have guided Vailima through a spirited year with grace, style, intellectual firepower, and a key sense of what stands artistically. We are sad to say goodbye to one of the recipients, but look forward to 2 more years with the other. Congratulations to our 2 outstanding pirate editors, Appleton and Eliana Heiser.
As it should be.
Good morning. When I was in high school and my interest in science was beginning to blossom, I became aware of a man named Carl Sagan, who was at that time the greatest spokesman for science as a tool for understanding our world. In a book entitled The Demon-Haunted World, Science as a Candle in the Dark, written in 1995, 24 years ago, Sagan wrote the following. He said, "Science is more than a body of knowledge. It is a way of thinking. I have a foreboding of an America in my children's or grandchildren's time when the United States is a service and information economy, when nearly all the key manufacturing processes have slipped away to other countries, when awesome technological powers are in the hands of a very few, and no one representing the public interest, politicians, can even grasp the issues, when the people have lost the ability to set their own agendas or knowledgeably question those in authority, when, clutching our crystals and nervously consulting our horoscopes, our critical faculties in decline, unable to distinguish between what feels good and what's true, we slide, almost without noticing, back into superstition and darkness." Again, that was written 24 years ago. There are some who feel Sagan's words were a remarkably accurate prediction of what is beginning to pass in our world. I'm happy to say that this trend is bucked at a school like Stevenson, and today's 2 recipients of awards in the natural sciences are shining examples of humanoids who will continue to light that candle in the darkness. The first award is given for overall excellence in science. Regarding this year's recipient, Dr. Wenzel writes, "Andrew Zhang was a standout in AP chemistry. His excellence in the lab was matched by his outstanding ability to grasp the deepest concepts in this challenging course. Andrew was excellent at interpreting my scientific jargon and explaining it to his classmates. Thank you, Andrew, for your assistance in AP Chemistry. You helped a very strong class achieve superb results on last year's AP Chem exam. And Mr. Provo comments, on top of his AP Science work, Andrew took planetary astronomy in the fall. And over the summer, he worked with the Monterey Institute of Research Astronomy on a project relating to comet collision with Jupiter. This spring, Andrew, due to his fascination with exoplanets, served as an expert for one of the 9th grade PSI capstone projects. He exudes a love for science and shares his passion in ways deep and profound. It is my honor to present the 2019 Community Honors Award in Science to Andrew Zhang. The second award is the Arnold Bauhe Award for Laboratory Science, awarded to the student who excelled in the practice of science. As I have never had the pleasure of teaching Kevin McDonald, I will again share the observations of two of my colleagues. Dr. Wenzel remarked that his recent study of a complex oscillating chemical reaction was worthy of publication in a peer-reviewed journal, while Mrs. Montague said the following: Kevin is responsible, dependable, and whip smart. He is always willing to ask questions and respectfully challenge ideas in class, reliably does homework, and never fails to perform extremely well on exams or other assessments. He put more work into robotics this year and last year than anyone else. He went being from primarily interested in coding as a junior to being the MVP his senior year, doing machining, mechanical, electrical, coding, pneumatics, and working with every other system on the robot. This year's robotics team would not have had the success it did without his leadership and willingness to work long hours, far past those of any other member of the team. It is my pleasure to award the 2019 Arnold Bauhe Award to Kevin McDonald.
The Sybil Fernley Award in English is named after one of Stevenson's first and finest English teachers. According to legend, Sybil often held court in the dining hall, moderating lively roundtable discussions on literature, politics, and current events with an engaged group of students. I'm also told that she could be very intimidating. However, I'm confident that Shreya Kamra could hold her own in such a gathering. Shreya has distinguished herself in a class of talented peers, and the English department applauds her outstanding work in the subject, her enthusiasm, her attention to detail, her tenacity, her 50 drafts of an essay, and her love and appreciation for the written and spoken word. Please join me in congratulating Shreya Kamra.
Good morning. For the first time in our school's history, the Visual Arts Award goes to a filmmaking student, and his name is Eric Yu. Eric basically co-founded our Making Movies program as a sophomore 2 years ago. He's had a hand in making about 20 films at Stevenson, from documentaries to westerns and, of course, Green Key promo videos. His best work paid attention to detail and sought aesthetic beauty, and he embraced the creative process we like to call putting in the lonely work. Eric, your resilience and talents will serve you well, and we applaud your excellence over 4 years in the Stevenson studios. Congratulations to my 4-year advisee, Eric Yu. This is the Suzanne Rumbaugh Purchase Prize. Each year, one student artwork captures the imagination of a selection committee, and their artwork joins a permanent display in Rosen Center. The student receives an honorarium. In this year's selection, a student inserted herself seamlessly into a dazzling gold leaf masterpiece by Gustav Klimt, known to many as the Woman in Gold. Because this student is a sophomore, we can all look forward to seeing more of her art at Stevenson over the next 2 years. Congratulations, Bona Nguyen.
Good morning, everybody. I might be a new face to some of you. My name is Mrs. De La Rosa. I am the dance teacher, and I came up this year to work with the dance department. And I've been very grateful for the experience that I've had this year up here. So I'm here today to give the Performing Arts Dance Award. This year's recipient of the Performing Arts Dance Award is a remarkable talent that holds many hats. I only had a few terms to experience the drive and dedication of this artist. And when I say artist, true artist, with lots of passion. Her contributions to the dance program included her vision for all who will dance here at Stevenson, to student choreography, to 100% dedication to this year's performance, and including a tremendous support for all dancers from beginner to advanced. She has a humorous personality, and when I say humorous, she can make you laugh. And just every dance class was full of joy. In every way, she jumped into the production assistant position. You name it, she did it. Starting class when I had to take detours to the campus, sending rehearsal reminders to the cast, ensuring that Mrs. De La Rosa wasn't the last person setting up the set design. She took every moment to always ask questions. What needs to be done? How can I help? I'm extremely honored to have met this young lady this year, and I look forward to seeing what she does in her bright future. This Performing Arts Dance Award goes to Alessandra Ballerina Jennings. Nice to hear.
simply giving something a shot is not giving something our best. For our best is made up of as many shots as it takes in order to be our best. This quote reminds me of this year's recipient of the Radio Technical Theater Award. In his 4 years in theater tech, he threw himself wholeheartedly at whatever I asked him to take on. If it initially was not the best it could be, he would give it as many shots as it needed to get there. For the past 2 years, he also brought that conscientiousness to our radio program. This year's recipient of the Technical Theater Radio Award is, of course, Dominic Concerti.
Rules. Rules are important. They guide us, keep us safe, give us a code to live by. But sometimes, especially in the performing arts, we bend them or even break them when something extraordinary happens. Well, something extraordinary occurred this year. The common rule for the community auditors is that I choose one recipient for the award in theater. But this year, I was faced with a problem. We have two incredibly talented individuals who deserve recognition for their extraordinary talents. Teresa Franchione, Tess, in one word, fierce. A fierce competitor in the pool during the fall water polo season, a fierce actor and singer on the stage. In grad school for theater, we read Sun Tzu's The Art of War, an ancient Chinese treatise. Why? The theater is not for the faint of heart. You must decipher the text, discover your objective, and try as many strategies and tactics to achieve said objective. Tess is a warrior. That is not to say she isn't approachable. We have laughed out loud, cried during an embrace, and spoken words of gratitude, and that was just this week. Tess is a powerhouse on the stage. She has a beautiful voice and the incredible acting ability to tell a story through song. She is headed to Catholic University to study musical theater. I know Tess, the conqueror, will find success and happiness no matter what or where the path leads her. Please join me in congratulating Tess Franchione, this year's recipient of the Community Honors Award in Theater. This is hard. Don't cry, don't cry. Sylvie Pratt is a remarkable performer. She lives and breathes to perform. If Sylvie isn't crazy busy with a rehearsal, she isn't satisfied. She is the go-to performer at our local company in Carmel, Pac Rep, and still maintains her highly visible presence here at Stevenson. Not an easy balancing act. Last year, Sylvie chose the unique opportunity to perform the role of medium Allison in Alison Bechtel's Fun Home at Pac Rep. It was a dazzling performance. Sylvie's acting has a maturity and depth beyond her years, and if you had the privilege of seeing her perform The Witch in Into the Woods here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She is headed to NYU's Tisch School of the Arts in the fall. I hope you know, Sylvie, that as you pack your belongings to take to New York, you will carry my gratitude and heartfelt respect for, for all you've done to raise the bar for what our high school actors can achieve. Quite an accomplishment, quite a legacy. Please join me in congratulating Sylvie Pratt, this year's recipient of the Community Honors Award in Theater. Oh. Stand on the X, you gotta get.
Hiso. Your dedication and impactful contributions to Stevenson music over the past 4 years has been truly inspiring. With unwavered confidence and with no hesitation, you accepted every challenge asked of you with an authentic smile that kindly declared, "Yeah, I got this." It is so refreshing to see your love of music come to life through the violin. Not only do you look like you enjoy playing, you play like you really enjoy playing. Just some of your musical accolades include 4-year orchestra member, 3-year chamber ensemble member, CCS Honor Orchestra mainstay, lead violinist in Cinderella, violist in Into the Woods, and electric bassist in Urinetown and at Keck. With you graduates a legacy of exceptional skill tethered with positivity and enthusiastic leadership. Hiso Kim, thank you for your outstanding work in the music department. You have earned the 2019 Community Honors Award for Music.
The winner of this year's Community Honors Award in Outdoor Education will come as no surprise to those of us fortunate enough to have adventured with him for the past 4 years. He's a tireless, dedicated, and passionate young man who exemplifies all we look for in an outdoor leader, both on campus and in the backcountry.
From expo to weekend trips, we applaud this student for fully immersing himself in outdoor opportunities. No amount of poison oak, mosquitoes, rainy weather, or change in plans ever deters his enthusiasm. His optimism, confidence, and earnestness in any given situation is notable by many. It is perhaps this student's ability to share his experiences with others and learn from theirs that sets this year's recipient apart. This innate ability to share his passion for the outdoors permeates many spheres and most recently inspired members of our residential community in a senior Vespers speech.
We wish him all the best as he takes his outdoor talents to the urban jungle of Evanston, Illinois, and Northwestern University.
Without further ado, we are proud to present the Outdoor Ed Award to Shu Bohan. Hans Shu.
The Leventhal Family Award for Community Service recognizes a student who actively engages in service for the benefit of Stevenson and the surrounding community. The award is presented to the student who selflessly gives in the service of others. This recipient was an influential member of the Community Service Committee on Student Council, spearheading trips to the Gateway Center on Sundays. Her selfless demeanor, empathy, and willingness to help others in the dorm and in other realms of the school truly reflect this award. Congratulations, Maggie Lee. I have the privilege of presenting 3 more awards, so here we go. The Chuck Hopkins Award for Student Activities is named in memory of Chuck Hopkins, class of '85, and recognizes a student who demonstrates spirit and enthusiasm in the Stevenson community. The award is given to the student who gives more than they expect in return. The recipient of this award has been incredibly active in this community. Even with a rigorous academic load, she finds time to assist as a student leader, serve as a prefect, participate in the music and theater programs, and compete on athletic teams. And she truly enjoys it all. Her humility and ingenuity make her a natural leader, and her kindness and generosity make her extremely deserving of this award. Congratulations, Kathy Jung. 2 more. The Student Government Award goes to a student who is celebrated for his innate ability to build community. He helps to foster an environment that is open and relaxed through his active listening and positive attitude. He has a natural skill of relating to people from many different backgrounds and perspectives. His advisor mentions that his most repeated phrase is, "I just hope people like it." Whether it was a push for certain foods in the dining hall, dorm life, symposium, or the spring carnival, the driving force behind his work is for the benefit and enjoyment of others. Even without the title of student body president, I know Matt Law would step up with the sole desire to make this place as special for others as it is for him. Congratulations, Matt Law. The Philip P. Perkins Award for Residence is generally presented to one student who has had the greatest impact on the residential community. However, this year, the dorm heads decided that 2 students deserve to receive this award. With their steadfast leadership and unwavering dependability, Sylvia Chin and Angela Zan have certainly made their impact on Stevenson's residential community. In addition to being prefects in the Barrows and Wilson dormitories, Sylvia and Angela were selected to be co-heads of the Resident Activities Committee. Throughout this year, they've raised the bar for the level of excellence that can be accomplished in this role. We thank Angela and Sylvia for their countless contributions to the Stevenson community, and we look forward to hearing of their adventures as they move on to college next year.
Gage Rankin French Athletic Achievement Award is presented annually by the Stevenson coaches to the athlete who plays sports for the thrill of competing and for the opportunity to build lasting friendships by joyfully dedicating time and commitment to his or her team while never looking for nor receiving glory, notoriety, personal gain, or special recognition. The narrative describes my former teammate to a T. Gage French was a member of the class of 1988, but most of all, he was my friend and my teammate. Gage was a great person, and I'm honored to present this award on behalf of the French family and Stevenson School. Throughout the course of this athlete Stevenson experience, he has participated in 4 different varsity sports. Not only does this athlete participate in sports for the pure joy of being part of a team, but he ensures a positive experience for many of his teammates. 2 years ago, following the first day of football practice, a freshman lineman came into the athletic trainer and stated, "I am completely exhausted. That was the hardest thing I've ever done." This year's recipient walked over to the exhausted player and said, "The first day is the hardest. Every day after today will be easier." The spring he joined the track team, and halfway through the season, his coach surmises, I think it was partly because he just loves to compete, and partly because he wanted to be a part of a team to be with friends, both qualities that Gage French had. He learned how to throw the shot put and discus and fully immersed himself in that endeavor. At our final league meet, he scored 16 points to help the Pirate cause. His football coach writes, he is the perfect teammate. He never openly seeks the spotlight, but his fun, easygoing attitude often allows the spotlight to find him on and off of the field. He meets all challenges head on with a smile, and I never questioned his effort or commitment to the team. He has left an indelible mark on our program, and his infectious personality will surely be missed by all of his coaches, teachers, but most of all, his teammates. It is with great pleasure that I present the 2019 Gage French Unsung Hero Award to Hans Schuh.
Oops, good morning. The Athlete of the Year award is given to the boy and girl athletes who represent the best in athletics at Stevenson. With these awards, the coaches recognize the students who have demonstrated outstanding athletic ability and exceptional performance and skill. In addition to talent, these students are rewarded for their leadership qualities and for their positive contribution to their teams. They are truly the most exemplary athletes in the Stevenson community. Since setting foot on this campus, this year's female recipient has been a varsity athlete in multiple sports. She not only played a sport in every season this year, she also excelled, garnering all-league recognition in every sport she played. In field hockey, she was named to the All-League First Team and earned honorable mention CCS recognition. In basketball, she was named to the All-League First Team and earned honorable mention All-County recognition. In softball, she was named MVP of the league. And in lacrosse, which competes in the same season as softball, she was named Offensive Player of the Year for the league. While her incredible athletic ability makes her well worthy of this award, it is her selfless attitude and willingness to do whatever it takes for the team's success that makes her a true leader. According to her coaches, she exemplifies commitment, sportsmanship, and athletic achievement. She is exceptionally talented yet humble athlete who is respectful and willing to put others ahead of her and her impressive accomplishments. Rhea is extremely coachable and demonstrates positive sportsmanship amongst their teammates, opponents, and officials day in and day out, as her talent, skill, heart, and hustle were evident at every practice and game. She leads through action, through integrity, and with pride to wear the Stevenson name. It gives me great pleasure to present the award for Female Athlete of the Year to Rhea Kosan. pull you back from the other room. This year's male recipient is a multi-sport athlete as well. As a football player, he was named the League Defensive Player of the Year, in addition to being named to the All-County football team as a utility player. In lacrosse, he was named the Defensive Player of the Year as well. However, as his coaches share, Alex Murray is much more than a great athlete. His leadership and commitment to the team is unparalleled in my 20 years of coaching high school athletics. On every team, Alex has demonstrated consistently his ability to rally a team. He would push his teammates to play above their own potential. Alex often talks about work ethic and the importance of working hard on and off the field. He is one of our purest leaders and a great example of everything a Pirate should be. Anything that was needed from him, he got it done. Alex is well respected amongst his peers and teammates, as he knows what it takes to be successful. His athletic knowledge and work ethic are only outdone by his leadership skills. Alex leads with his voice and by example, holding himself and his teammates to incredibly high standards. The 2018 Stevenson football team will never forget being down 20-0 at halftime to Marina and watching Alex Murray carry the ball 28 times for 244 yards and 4 TDs in a comeback victory. It is my honor to present this year's Male Athlete of the Year award to Alex Murray. The Robert F. Ford Sportsmanship Award is a prestigious athletic honor and is presented to the boy and girl athletes who have demonstrated outstanding sportsmanship. Selected by the Stevenson School coaches, the Sportsmanship Award is presented to the student who best demonstrates the qualities of citizenship, enthusiasm, fair play, and a dedication to his or her team and sport. Awardees consistently invest their best effort and use mature judgment even under the most adverse circumstances. Recipients of the Sportsmanship Award are among the most exemplary athletes in the Stevenson community. The male recipient of this year's award always puts the team first. He has been acknowledged as an all-league caliber player in all 3 of his sports, and while that is impressive in itself, it is his approach that allows him to stand out as a competitor and athlete. He is a leader who exudes the qualities coaches value. He works hard, never complains, and is always there to pick up a teammate who is struggling. He is equally as engaged on the bench as he is when he is competing. His teammates look to him for steady leadership in the midst of often chaotic situations. He is a hard-nosed athlete, but he has as steady a temper as any young man of his age I've ever encountered. Although he has had plenty of reasons to make excuses or give less than his full effort, he has never done so. He leads his teammates with integrity and quiet determination. He has been named to the league sportsmanship team in each of the last 3 seasons and has twice won the league sportsmanship award. According to his water polo coach, players like Connor Jacobs don't come around too often in the water polo world. 6'6", powerful, intense, smart, and a can't-lose attitude. He is a true leader and leads by example. He's gritty and relentless. CJ is one of the best captains I've known in my time as a coach. He is one of the players you want on your side in any game, but he is so much more than that in the way he represents the school, this program, his friends, and his family. Connor Jacobs is gracious in victory and congratulatory in defeat. He respects the game and his competition. He was and is the consummate Stevenson Athletic Ambassador. It is with great respect that we award Connor Jacobs the Robert F. Ford Sportsmanship Award. The female winner of this award has been described by her coaches as the model of dedication, commitment, leadership, and consistency. Her quiet yet pervasive leadership extends beyond her individual participation to her teammates, the classroom, and beyond. She is patient, considerate, enthusiastic, and inclusive. She truly is exemplary. Wherever she finds herself in life, her character will continue to deeply influence those around her. Though water polo is not her first sport, she was an outstanding participant for 3 years. Mostly, she enjoyed the camaraderie of the team and the demands of a rigorous sport. The team meant a great deal to her, and she consistently did her best to motivate and support those around her. Not the fastest or the best, she focused on being the first back on defense and took the most pride in helping the team by preventing goals. She has carried the diving team for 4 years. At times, being the only member of the diving roster and competing alone while serving as the de facto diving coach during her sophomore year. When she did have teammates, she offered great support as they navigated the difficult challenge of learning to dive. She also happily participated in swimming events, filling in on relays and open events at a moment's notice. She represents the best qualities of an athlete. She is consistent in her hard work, her positive attitude, and her coachability. It gives me great pleasure to present the Robert F. Ford Sportsmanship Award to Haley Fannin.
So it's my pleasure to present the Angie Hannes Memorial Award. The purpose of the award is to recognize a graduating senior who demonstrates an extraordinary love for learning and for life, coupled with a personal style of grace, humility, and kindness. This student should not only demonstrate outstanding academic achievement, but also a commitment to excellence and desire to challenge him or herself intellectually, to go a step beyond what is required. This student's sense of optimism should serve as an inspiration to others. This award is given in honor of Angie Hannes, class of 1999. Angie completed a full and challenging load of classes during her time at Stevenson, gained admission to Stanford University, and graduated from Stevenson while battling an illness that would ultimately claim her life just days after that graduation. This year's recipient personifies the criteria for this award. Not only an outstanding student driven by deep curiosity and a love of learning, she has shared her wide-ranging talents with us as a musician, as an athlete, and as a student leader. Her sense of optimism, her genuine joy at seeing her peers succeed and be celebrated, and her selfless humility makes Selena Shima a most deserving recipient of this award.
It's my honor to present the President's Awards. About the President's Awards, the faculty meets each spring to share stories about particular students whose achievements mark the distinctive character of the class. On the basis of this discussion, they forward to me a list of students whose enthusiasm, intelligence, values, deeds, embrace of challenges, and social grace combine to inspire others to make a positive difference in the world. In preparing this list, they are attentive to students who stand as examples of the school's mission. Worthy candidates will thus be those whose pursuit of a joyful life includes helping to deliver others to their own joy and never seeking joy at others' expense, and whose conduct exemplifies the school's understanding of personal honor, which emphasizes honesty, care for others, courage in accepting responsibility for one's thoughts and actions, and commitment to seeking fulfillment in doing one's best work. In selecting from among those seniors nominated for consideration, I consult with colleagues who know the class especially well. The award's distinction rests in large part on the faculty's agreement that despite the admirable qualities of the class as a whole and the superb achievements of those who may receive other honors in this season, worthy candidates for the President's Award will always be few in number. In that spirit, individual faculty members may nominate no more than one student for consideration in a given year. Thus, within a remarkable cohort of peers, especially true for this year's class of seniors, recipients of the President's Award stand apart as natural models of honorable engagement with the world and an embodiment of the values that give Stevenson its meaning. I will now read the names of 8 seniors who should make their way swiftly to the stage when they hear me call their name. Please, 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 please hold your applause. That means hold your applause until I've read the last name. Then erupt in a manner that puts you at risk of being tasered by the avuncular Mr. Solicito. Once they've assembled, I'll say a few words about each one. You will hold your applause. Matt Law. No. Kathy Jung. Connor Jacobs. Ellie Yamashita. Hans Shu. Grace Gray. Nat Schulhoff. And Honorable Walker. Now stand awkwardly while I say things. Good work so far. Matt, you've served the school this year as head prefect in Wilson, as student body president, as a co-editor of the yearbook, and as a stalwart member of the most successful boys water polo team in school history. As you have acknowledged with admirable openness and vulnerability, you arrived here 4 years ago as a quiet and somewhat timid person, and someone for whom the experience of school was more or less limited to what was assigned and expected. From these modest beginnings, you summoned courage and curiosity and swiftly acquired confidence. And as a result, you have earned the right to now look back fondly over a Stevenson journey that has been filled with worthy endeavors and that serves as a model for others as to how to carry oneself. In this light, thank you for the gift of your example. Kathy, the students and faculty with whom you have shared life in Barrows this year count you as a perfect head prefect. There, as in the wider community, in your role as student body vice president, you're counted as a kind and quiet leader whose patience with and respect for others appear to be default settings on even your worst days. Your teachers uniformly praise your insight and intellectual sophistication, your consistent appearance of seeming deeply at home with material ranging from saw bellow to thermochemistry. That said, it is perhaps as a musician, having given yourself over to the unique covenant of being with others in the flow of public performance, that your core superpower is on clearest display. Your ability to play your own part with passion and precision while listening intently and appreciatively to the other members of your ensemble provides an example for all of us, and we are grateful for it. Is he really 6'6"? I don't know. Connor, some people call you a poster boy for Stevenson. But many others feel that such praise does you some disservice because they recognize that you are, in fact, a poster boy for other poster boys. Though you've been a fine student, your occasional struggles with punctual arrival to class notwithstanding. and a standout athlete in water polo, basketball, and swimming. It's been in the crucial spaces in between your academic tests and athletic contests that you made your lasting mark in our community. Your keel is invariably even, your head remains level, and even in the face of adversity, your heart stays appealingly light. Your peers and teachers have come to count on you to choose the hard right over the easy wrong, and to punctuate stressful moments with a gentle joke that lightens the mood. Because you know that yours is a journey that began in great uncertainty, and because you know that you found others' acceptance on your own admirable terms, we thank you for the gift of your example. Ellie, this is the moment that the truth must be revealed to everyone here today. You are actually 32 years old. And you have been here among us under deep cover to write an article on high school for Vanity Fair. As a student, an athlete, a senior forum leader, a Green Key Head, and this year's Nathan Krisoff Award Prize winner, you've inspired all of us to be at our best when in your orbit. Freshmen trust you as a mentor. Teachers describe you as the kind of person who they want their kids to grow up to be. And faculty children consistently name you as their babysitter of choice. And in some cases, seem to prefer you to their own parents. In all of your endeavors, you've embodied the challenge and intrinsic reward of striving to be guided by the light of our core values. Thank you for the gift of your example. Hans. Hans, it was no less a philosopher than Frozen's Olaf who posed the ontological question that defines our age. Who is this Hans? Our community's answer qualifies you for today's recognition. You're the person that other student leaders look to when in doubt about what to do. You're the person that gets people to the trailhead and home again safely. As both an all-league football player and hands down the worst swimmer that Mr. Kemmerer has ever coached, you've been one of the best teammates that anyone could ever hope for. You're a dedicated student whose success is commendable, but in the end, your grades are less remarkable than the authentic joy you take in the process of learning and the radical inclusiveness of that joy, which animates every classroom you enter. Who is this Hans? Proof that the world is what you make of it, and a particularly fine expression of our Latin motto, suaviter in modo, fortiter in re, gentle in manner, resolute in action. Thank you for the gift of your example, Hans. Grace. You know better than anyone else how remarkable it is that this recognition punctuates the waning moments of your third act at Stevenson. There was a time when you almost left us, but you chose to rededicate yourself to this place and to yourself. You chose to trust that a brief period of solitude would deliver you to your soulmates and your purpose. You chose to open yourself to opportunities that could not have been anticipated before they arose. As a result, this year's freshmen may well read you as a person fully formed, a stellar prefect, a drum major for Athenaeum, and a courageous and inventive performer responsible for some truly indelible performances here in historic Keck Auditorium. But the gift of your example for all of us is precisely that you did not arrive fully formed, for teaching us that grit and grace are a worthy true north, especially on days that are not easy, which in some seasons of our life will outnumber the easy ones. We say thank you. Nat Schulhoff, you respect Laguna. On the day that your team needed you to surpass all expectations, you rose to the occasion. With the CCS title in hand, your coach described you to the newspapers as the team's rescue unit. But that historic and somewhat improbable victory wasn't your only fine moment this year. Mr. Bates forwarded the email to me. It reads, I am the golf coach for Valley Christian High School in Chandler, Arizona. Our kids were paired with yours the last 2 days at the Champions Invitational. I have a player that has a major heart condition, so he struggles with prolonged physical activity. He was paired with your Nat Schulhoff, whose compassion and kindness had a big impact on him. I wanted to bring it to your attention so that you could let him know that it meant a lot to both of us. No one was surprised by this praise except perhaps you, for whom the day was no different than any other. Nat, for your consideration towards others, your ability to anticipate others' needs and offer your support to friends and strangers alike. Thank you for the gift of your example. Honorable, as a member of a class with no shortage of peers who've triumphed privately over adversity to live out their hero's journey here, you stand in a special category of achievement. The early days were hard. As both a student and an athlete, you faced stern tests and had to recalibrate again and again, trusting that your teachers' and coaches' high expectations signaled their deep respect for your potential. Throughout, you willed yourself to believe in your destiny, and in doing so discovered your voice and your own inner strength, as well as friends and mentors who will never desert you. If there is no struggle, a wise man once said, there is no progress. And it is as a student that we will choose to remember you, for you've earned the respect of your peers and teachers for a restless and probing mind, one which, to borrow from Flannery O'Connor, is wholly comfortable neither in belief nor disbelief, for persevering in all things, for choosing to matter and not be defined simply by what came most easily to you, for investing in skepticism rather than cynicism, and for relentlessly keeping it real in all aspects of your journey. Thank you for the gift of your example. Please join me in offering these students our collective appreciation. You all can exit stage left, so to ease up on the awkwardness. This concludes the assembly, and I now have some logistical details. So we are using, first of all, you'll proceed from here directly to your advisory meetings. Returning students, there's an advisory survey that you need to take out where you indicate your intentions for your advisor next year. It's very important that you complete that in advisory. We'll have alternative locations for the class barbecues. Seniors will be under the covered deck up above the pool so that you can use the gym. Juniors will be on the Rosen stage so you can use Rosen. And grades 9 and 10 will be in Reed Hall on either side of the salad bar. And it's a delicious lunch that we have to look forward to. Also, all seniors, regardless of whether you're going on the trip or not, need to be in the gym at 1 o'clock, okay? Are we holding Green Key people? We are holding Green Key people. Green Key people, come to the stage. Rosen stage. Green Key people, go to Rosen stage. With great thanks to the faculty, great thanks to you for your attention. Have a great day.